doing this. It seems that DisneysDale has just completely given up on his base. He says, I have a large enough army to completely wipe your base out first. And that is what AscendedMaster seems. He says 11, which is the laugh. Dale, oh my god, Master, no, not my relics. And the relics have actually been taken out. That was a great strategy. I don't know if that was a little bit of luck of where he chose to attack originally, but all 5 relics are now out of his monastery. He's not collecting any gold for any of them. And it seems Master is doing quite a bit of damage to Dale's base, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough quick enough, because Master just has that humongous army coming at him. And this looks like it's going to be game here in a second, depending on which player thinks it's more useless, and I really think that's going to be AscendedMaster. He's not. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what I read. DisneysDale ends going on to win this first round, I'm pretty sure, and that's where the controversy comes into play. And I'm thinking any second here we're going to get a resign from AscendedMaster, I do believe. But looks like he is trying everything he can to build back up. He says, I have enough resources for one final push. I do believe he's trying anything he could, building tons of houses, so it looks like he can build up an army for but how much resources does he really have? He has no food, no gold, only a little bit of wood. And on the other side, oh, and there we go. Fuck your late push. GG, bro. Yes, laugh. GG. Gade in the end. And exactly, AscendedMaster, that's actually because DisneysDale was great at putting that using defense at the beginning of the map, and then noticing that AscendedMaster had actually wasted his rush and wasted his gold all on the first push, and then was able to counter that with a great attack using those Maggie die as a great advantage that he has against the Franks, and just tore him up. And another great game on the way. We have game 2. We're going to flip the civilizations, and we'll have that coming up in just 2 seconds. Welcome, everybody, and we're back to the second game of this round 1 DisneysDale against AscendedMaster, and we are now flipping the civilizations. As we saw in the first game, DisneysDale was able to take out AscendedMaster with a great secondary push after AscendedMaster pushed him as heavy as he could with a market start with his Franks against the Mongols, and it just didn't work out for him. DisneysDale was able to do defensive, then offensive, and it worked great for him, using great army strategy, economy, the whole 9 yards. The only thing I can say is that AscendedMaster got both the market and all 5 relics and was not able to pull it off, so that we know that DisneysDale's Mongols are as strong as can be, and we can only hope that his Mongols are just as strong. And like I said earlier, this game has a lot of conflict to it, so it's going to be interesting to see how this game ends up turning out. And we did see a little bit of a mess up, a little bit of a goof by AscendedMaster. I did see in the first 30 seconds that he accidentally sent a villager into the town center. There's nothing worse than that. I know every player, even the best of best, I'm sure Jibba has accidentally rang the bell, sending all the villagers into the town center while building away on the first couple of stables or barracks or such, and everybody knows that is no fun. It can totally ruin you, because milliseconds matter so much in these expert games, especially in a tournament where nobody wants to lose. And if we go on to it, we have AscendedMaster laying down a few plans. Looks like he's going to do a massive siege. No surprise there. Going to build tons of siege rams. I'm sure Ongers, however you pronounce that damn unit. He is having a little bit of a house problem that's really going to end up hurting him. I know a few seconds of a population cap of 35 doesn't seem too bad, but against a player like DisneysDale that is just probably not having too much of the same problem. As you can see, DisneysDale has actually already created the market, got that extra 2,000 in gold. No surprise when a player is a civilization like the Franks, but he has already created monasteries, plans on collecting those relics extremely fast. Not going to let the same thing happen to him that happened in the last game. In the last game, AscendedMaster was able to collect all 5 of those relics, but for some reason, I just didn't feel like he got, I don't know, for some reason, the gold just wasn't there, even though he had all 5 of the relics. The game probably wasn't long enough to get a substantial amount of gold. Usually the relics come more into play during a longer game. But we do have DisneysDale grabbing that market And so it's basically a flip-flop. And we're going to see if AscendedMaster is able to pull off an upset just like Dale was to do in the last game. Usually most people think that the Franks are going to win against the Mongols because just of the overall faster civilization they are with stronger paladins and such. But the Mongols are no pushovers in their own right. And we do have AscendedMaster going, taking out a monk that was heading for a relic. I do believe there's another relic about to be captured by DisneysDale as the second he notices it and takes it back to his monastery. And we already have AscendedMaster creating a town center going for the gold. And what he really needs to do is start collecting that wood, considering that the Mongols really strive on gold and wood. We just have a few little small pushes by DisneysDale, nothing really too big, maybe just sending a small army trying to keep him busy as he expands and creates more. Sometimes that's one of the best strategies. You know, you're not rushing, you're not doing a full-on rush, you're just kind of keeping your opponent occupied with a small force, not really sending anything that would kill you. If you lost those units, it's not really going to put a big hurt to your army, but you do want to keep your opponent at bay, keep him distracted while you're expanding, collecting those relics or creating town centers to start collecting your resources and such. It's a great strategy. See a lot of experts, top players in the game using it. And it looks like AscendedMaster is just going to create a large amount of siege. He already has about 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that was 9, just looking pretty quickly. Nobody make fun of my math skills if I was wrong. He's made 9 already. He's doing really well on that gold. Seems like the gold piles are pretty evenly distributed around the map. I saw a game the other day where it was pretty unfair. The one player had the standard 3 piles around his, and then the one that was supposed to be in the middle for both players to have to be able to capture was actually on his side also. So he had a very easy gold to capture. So it was a little unfair for the other player. But hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Nobody sets these maps up to be like that. It just happens like that, being random maps that they are. And we are playing Green Arabia, a special map created just for this tournament. And I think all the players have loved playing this. And I think the only time we're really going to see a map change is in a specific situation. And I think that might be Gold Rush. I could be wrong, but I think we're probably going to see Gold Rush being played. And for those of you who don't know Gold Rush, it's more of a map that was more common in the Age of Empires, the Age of King days. And I do love it. I love that map. Nothing funner than a good Gold Rush map. And what that is basically all the resources such as gold are all in the middle of the map for those players to take. And they're going to have to go after it, defend it, and whatnot right in the middle. But one thing, I have played a game of Gold Rush where there are so many wolves on that map that I've actually had, within the first 5 minutes, so many wolves in my base. I was just sending villagers to create the standard stables and houses, and before I knew it, wolves had actually killed my villagers, not the enemy. You know, usually the enemy scout is coming towards your base to try to kill some of those villagers. I had wolves do it. So that's just maybe one thing. If any of the players are paying attention to this video and go on to the 3rd or 4th round when I think we might see Gold Rush, just pay attention to those wolves. They can be more dangerous than the opponent. And we have a pretty good level of expansion going on right now by both players. And you can see AscendedMaster has already started capturing those secondary gold piles, kind of leaving that one alone. Don't know why. DisneysDale has retreated all of his paladins into his own base, and now is turning around, and he's also just kind of playing defense right now, staying behind those 3 castles with all of his pikemen and his axemen, and he has also created axemen. I really, as you can see, most players, when they're Franks, they're going to make a large amount of axemen, but against the Mongols, they're not going to be too effective against those long-range Magi, and they can also be taken out easily by the siege weaponry. And here comes his paladins to give a little help. That castle is about to go down at the hands of all his rams. And so far, this has just been such a great matchup. I do believe that this is actually going to go on to a 3rd round. So we're going to go ahead and speed it up. Probably won't watch the entire game so we can get down to the Persians against Persians. But then again, I don't know. I haven't heard great things about the Persians on Persians. Probably the more unexciting of the games. And we do see DisneysDale grabbing another relic. We do have a population cap for AscendedMaster. DisneysDale has 3 relics captured with a 3rd on the way. Let's see if we have anything. I don't know why neither player collects relics as the Mongols. That's just a weird thing to me. Maybe there's a reason for that I'm missing. But I don't know. Usually, no matter what civilization I am, I'm going after those relics. There's nothing I like more than a little extra gold. And as we can see, DisneysDale is doing a good job on raiding with those extremely powerful Franks paladins, taking out that town center, taking out a few villagers that were collecting the gold. But he's got to pay attention to his frontline combat. That's a problem that a lot of players have. You know, as they're raiding, they're not really paying much attention to their army control where it matters. And AscendedMaster is doing giving DisneysDale a little taste of his own medicine, but he's using the scout, the hussar, instead of the paladins, the much stronger paladins. So that raid was put to bed. And here we have AscendedMaster doing a great push, taking out those that trebuchet, sending in his rams. And one important thing is you always want to send the rams in first against those castles, so make it so those castles are attacking those rams. And then you see how players send in their units right behind the rams. That's because the castles are not attacking those weaker those units. They're attacking the rams, and so the rams can take it, no problem whatsoever. And we do have AscendedMaster sending a little bit of a army down the bottom stretch of the map, hoping to surprise DisneysDale. And DisneysDale just created a market, and it's probably because he's going to trade a few resources for food. Nothing can be created without food, only siege with wood and gold. So food being a very important resource inside this game. And AscendedMaster's just doing a great job really tearing open DisneysDale. It seems that both players are much stronger with the Mongols, and I don't know, find that funny. Most of the time you find that everybody has a strong Franks. But both these players, I do believe, are newer AOC deathmatch players. Me coming from AOK deathmatch, it's Franks all day, baby. I'm sure a lot of players would agree with me on that. AscendedMaster's doing a great job at collecting those resources that he knows is important for his particular civilization, but DisneysDale is lacking on the food. He's really got to pick up his farms, really got to do something about that. He's doing very well on the wood, doing really well on the gold. DisneysDale had those paladins garrisoned inside that castle, and send them right back in. That was actually pretty clever of an idea. Had him garrisoned in there, ungarrison him to attack that ram, and then send him right back into the castle. And that caused AscendedMaster to do a retreat, waiting for more rams to come his way for the attack. Just has that one trebuchet, not doing much damage against those siege workshop. And there we have it. DisneysDale re-signed GG. The game is now tied at 1-1 as we head into the 3rd and final game, Persians against Persians. See you.